It takes 12 to 15 years to become a licensed doctor, 14 years to become a lawyer, 10 years and 1,000 hours as a pilot in command to become an astronaut. How much time would you say it takes to become a professional basketball player? Let's say most players begin at 6. They go through all the amateur tests from then to 18, plus 4 years in college. That's 16 years of honing your skills and making all the right moves, including hours dedicated to getting better, what high school you play for, having a solid, smart circle around you that can guide you in avoiding the pitfalls, and a fortunate and lucky draft night where you fall to the right team that can help you continue to develop. Well, this guy did that all in 7 years. In the 2006-07 season, he was beginning to look like the player many expected him to be. Finally, he's had enormous expectations from the day he began the sport, but the general consensus is that he didn't live up to those expectations. Here's why. Eddie Curry, born December 5th, 1982. Salute to all my subscribers that commented and requested this video. It's a lot of you guys, so I couldn't post it all up, but let's get into the story. It's your boy JC, Stunted Growth. Let's get it. Stunt number 1, this is serious. We could easily look at the history of this guy and say that a huge growth stunt was him having everything come way too soon. That would be a great argument, and as we'll see later, it did play a role in the decisions and outcomes of his journey. But I think Curry's first insurmountable growth stunt came in the form of a heart arrhythmia, a rhythm problem that causes it to beat too fast or too slow. As you may know, this is a major issue at any age of an active person. For a basketball player, his family, and the people that care and are invested in him, this can be heartbreaking. Eddie is from Harvey, Illinois, and played at Thornwood High School. He actually didn't begin playing the sport until the 7th grade. Prior to, he was an aspiring gymnast. Could you imagine bringing little 12-year-old Johnny to the gym to swing on poles, balance on some beams, and you see big-ass Eddie Curry doing somersaults in the foam pit? At 6'6", that had to look wild. But what he didn't know was that he was a natural on the court and began to love the game and the benefits it awarded him. By his senior year, he was a McDonald's All-American, averaged 22 points a game, 9 rebounds, 6 blocks, and Illinois Mr. Basketball. His play earned him the McDonald's Game MVP and an assurance that this was the moment he should take the jump. In 2001, he was taken with the 4th pick in the NBA draft to a team that could have been the perfect situation for him. It was in his hometown, he was comfortable, and the game at that time hadn't moved away from traditional centers as yet. Curry was solid in his first 3 seasons for the Bulls and was improving every year. In 04-05, he was the team's leading scorer at 16-5 and got them to the playoffs. But on March 30th, 2005, during a game against the Memphis Grizzlies, he complained of chest pains and feeling lightheaded, both of which are serious symptoms of a heart arrhythmia. Symptoms he's had in the past with his Bulls team, and so right before playing in his first playoffs, they decided to bench Curry for the season and first-round loss to the Washington Wizards. In the summer following, the Bulls wanted to be extra careful and asked Curry to take a DNA test to assure the team a situation like Hank Gathers or Reggie Lewis wasn't going to happen. Eddie refused, and the team traded him to the Knicks, a promising center on the rise. To have this happen was a tremendous setback. Stunt number 2, lack of discipline. Curry's time in New York could be your biggest argument that him achieving the success he did all came too soon. Immediately, he would clash with his coaches Scott Skiles and Larry Brown because he routinely showed up to training camp late and overweight. This landed him in the doghouse with a lot of coaches and took away important development time. Coaches also complained about his defense and want for the game. It could be the $60 million the Bulls gave him, or simply he just didn't love it like that. It being a sport he wasn't first in love with anyway. In the 06-07 season, he had his best year under Isaiah Thomas at 19 points a game and 7 rebounds, and played 81 games, leading the league in field goals. With new coach Mike D'Antoni now at the helm, Curry showed up the very next season extremely out of shape, enough for him to fall out of the rotation for D'Antoni and his ego to take a major hit. Had he really focused on his body and health, he could have been one of the last great centers. Stunt number 3, a new system. Coach D'Antoni looked like a basketball genius with the regular season shows he routinely put on in Phoenix. He had aspirations of doing the same in New York. His first personal task was to implement his system of run and gun offense and little defense. Obviously, EDDY Curry just didn't physically meet those requirements for that system, and so he suffered enormously. In their first year together, he averaged a measly 1 point a game in just 3 games played. Between knee injuries and no minutes available for his skills in D'Antoni's system, he suffered the following year as well. In 2009, EDDY was accused of sexual advances between he and his male chauffeur. Those charges were dismissed. He also lost his daughter and the mother of that child by the hands of his lawyer, who was actually having an affair with Curry's girlfriend. He's now serving a life sentence. EDDY Curry was a shell of himself after that horrendous year he had in 2009, and it began with a coaching system that was an extremely bad fit for his true center game. He would win a chip with the Miami Heat in 2011-12, playing in just 14 games. He saw action in Dallas, China, and in the ABL, where he was last seen. All in all, I think people have it slightly confused about EDDY Curry. Although he was a huge disappointment, he wasn't as bad as they make him out to be. Had he taken the game more serious by being in shape and the game not changing on him, he'd have a pretty good career. He still did, played 11 seasons and averaged 13 points a game and 5 rebounds for his career. Not bad for a kid that came up working on dismounts instead of drop steps. Salute to the big fella, man. At the end of the day, you still won in life and got to do exactly what you wanted to do for the most part of that life. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.